Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Upon learning that the City of Angels had been completed, Lin Yu immediately put down his work and headed to the northeastern region of his territory. Angelia, Elena, and ancient great elf Doris followed closely behind him. Looking up, a massive white city was suspended in mid-air. It was about 40 meters above the ground. The city was entirely white, as if it had been carved from a single flawless piece of white jade. Most importantly, the city emitted a holy radiance. The radiance came from countless angel divine runes attached to the surface of the city. Under the cover of the dim night, this city of throne angels appeared even more dazzling and eye-catching. Even from a distance of 200 to 300 kilometers, it could be seen clearly. My lord. They arrived not far from the City of Angels. Four figures appeared together. It was Coral, as well as Marianne and the other three artisan angels. They walked towards Lin Yu to greet him respectfully. Lin Yu nodded and looked at the massive and towering City of Angels, asking, "Can this City of the Throne Angels go directly into the battlefield?" Artisan Angel Coral respectfully replied, "Reporting to my lord, as long as there is a supply of energy, the City of Angels can enter the battlefield at any time." Very good. Lin Yu's joy showed on his face as he said, "Let's go into the city and take a look." As soon as he finished speaking, brilliant beams of light suddenly fell from the void, enveloping Lin Yu and the others. The next moment, they disappeared into thin air. When they reappeared, they had already arrived inside the City of Angels. Is this the teleportation function of the City of Angels? Yes, my lord. Artisan Angel Coral said, in addition to short-distance bidirectional teleportation, the City of Angels can also achieve long-distance directional teleportation. For example, there are two throne angel cities, standing in the north and south of this world. With the help of this teleportation function, your army of believers can easily descend from one throne angel city to another throne angel city. As long as it is in the same world, this teleportation is not limited by distance. It has great strategic significance. Lin Yu exclaimed. This function allows his army to quickly gather. Let's give a simple example. For example, he has multiple City of Angels scattered in different regions. Advertisement. When a war in one region ends, or when other regions need support, they can use the City of Angels to directly teleport the army to the desired location. To achieve the goal of gathering the army and quickly eliminating enemy forces. From another perspective, the City of Angels is not afraid of being besieged by enemy forces, because the army from other City of Angels can be teleported to the attacked City of Angels in a short period of time to help eliminate the attacking enemy forces. It can be said to be both offensive and defensive. However, this requires at least two City of Angels to cooperate. A single throne angel cannot achieve this long-distance teleportation. After roughly visiting the buildings inside the city, Lin Yu and the others arrived at the center of the City of Angels. There stood a 1,000-meter-tall statue. It was a 12-winged throne angel. Behind it, the 6 pairs of huge angel wings spread out, covering a large area of the City of Angels. When looking up from near the statue, the overwhelming sense of awe was very strong. Just at this moment, Lin Yu suddenly saw that the 12-winged angel statue seemed to move slightly. Especially the 6 pairs of angel wings behind it are slowly closing. This is not an illusion. However, Lin Yu quickly discovered that it was not the statue itself that was shaking, but a halo emitting a holy light. It emerged from the statue like an ethereal soul. The angel wings that were slowly closing just now are its wings. Soon, it completely separated from the statue. They were all nearly a kilometer tall, like supergiant angels. In addition, the appearance of the phantom is almost identical to that of the 12-winged angel statue. If one didn't know, they would think it was its incarnation. Immediately, the enormous phantom began to rapidly shrink. In the blink of an eye, it turned into the height of a normal angel. She wore a platinum angel battle armor and held an angel sword. Her golden wavy hair flowed behind her. Her figure was slender and perfectly proportioned. As for her face, it was naturally exquisite and flawless. Behind her, the 12 angel wings were all illusory, as if they were formed by countless angel runes converging. After seeing Lin Yu, she immediately put away her angel sword without hesitation, crossed her hands, and placed them on her full chest, respectfully bowing, "Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light." 12-winged throne angel Vivian, greetings to your noble self. Advertisement. May the holy light be with you always. May the Holy Lord be eternal. What is this? Lin Yu immediately showed a surprised expression. What is going on? He wanted to take a look at her information panel, but found that he couldn't view it. This 12-winged throne angel named Vivian is not the actual being that descended. 12-winged throne angel Vivian respectfully said, "Reporting to my lord, the 12-winged angels are the controllers of the small-scale city of angels. Now, my consciousness is connected to this throne angel city, controlling everything in the city of angels, including external warfare. Her statue is the core of the city of angels, analogous to the main program of a computer. With the main program, the computer can operate. The city of angels is the same." In addition, Lin Yu also learned from Vivian that the 12-winged angels control the small-scale city of angels. The 14-winged angels control the medium-scale city of angels. The 16-winged archangels control the large-scale city of angels. These three types of angels are the commanders of the angel army, in charge of warfare. As for the 18-winged grand archangel, they rarely personally participate in warfare and reside in the divine domain of the Lord. When my Lord is able to summon the 12-winged angels, my true self will also descend to serve you. While speaking, 12-winged throne angel Vivian looked at Lin Yu with immense reverence and fanaticism. Being able to meet the great Lord of Holy Light up close, she was extremely excited. In the divine domain of the Lord, she didn't know how many 12-winged angels envied her. But this is her fate. Her destiny connected her consciousness to this throne angel hall. So she was given the opportunity to descend. Vivian is looking forward to the descent of her true self, to serve the great Lord of Holy Light. It's almost time. Lin Yu smiled and nodded. The first wave of full-scale war has already ended. The number of his followers has reached nearly 1 million. The combined forces of hundreds of overlord professionals may not have as many followers as him. And this has also led to a problem. That is, the low-level town is unable to accommodate so many residents. Therefore, Lin Yu plans to upgrade the town to high-level later, and then see what conditions are needed for a town-level territory. With a town-level territory, 10-winged angels can be unlocked. One level higher, reaching a city-level territory, will be able to summon 12-winged angels. For Lin Yu, this goal is not far away. Then, Lin Yu arrived at the city wall of City of Angels. Accompanying him was the elegant secretary. An 12-winged throne angel Vivian walked behind, accompanying him throughout. Vivian had descended into the floating island world with her consciousness. Her consciousness vessel was the 12-winged throne angel statue. Although she couldn't leave the City of Angels, she could move freely within the city. My lord. Standing on the city wall that reached a height of 500 meters, Vivian pointed to a giant cannon that was tens of meters long and introduced it to Lin Yu, saying, "This is the holy magic cannon. Its power is considerable and can kill ordinary saint-rank professionals with one strike. Besides the holy magic cannon, this small-scale city of angels is also equipped with more powerful radiant cannons, which can threaten peak saint-rank professionals." Then, Vivian informed Lin Yu. If her true form descended, the power of these magic cannons would be greatly enhanced. It would be easy to kill a demigod creature with one shot. In addition, she informed Lin Yu that a 12-winged angel could control not only one small-scale city of angels. In general, a 12-winged angel would control 10 small-scale cities of angels. Each small-scale city of angels could accommodate a large-scale angel army, with a total of over 51,000 angels. In other words, when a 12-winged angel goes to battle, under normal circumstances, there would be 10 throne angel cities and an angel army of over 500,000. And if it were a 14-winged angel or a 16-winged archangel going to battle, the scale would be even more terrifying. especially the latter. When a 16-winged archangel goes to battle, the angel army under their command alone would number in the tens of millions. As for the city of angels, there would be over 1,000. That scene would definitely be awe-inspiring. With this throne angel city, capturing the giant kingdom will be a piece of cake. Lin Yu stood under the towering city wall, overlooking Paradise Town below. With a drop of over 500 meters, the residents of Paradise Town looked like ants from above, very small. This made him inexplicably feel a sense of looking down on all living beings. And now, Lin Yu also understood why artisan Angel Coral said that the City of Angels' strongest attack could easily kill a demigod-level powerhouse. The reason behind it was the 12-winged throne angel Vivian standing behind him. Although Vivian was not in her true form, she was just a consciousness, not even complete. Advertisement. But as a 12-winged angel, she could easily crush demigod-level creatures. In front of her, all beings below deities were ants. After all, she was a 12-winged holy angel with a given name, not a little angel, just born from the angel reincarnation pool. Lin Yu looked at Angelia beside him and said, "Give Vivian the magic cores we have in reserve, and use them when attacking the giant kingdom." "Yes, my lord." Angelia immediately took out a pile of magic cores and handed them to Vivian. There were hundreds of them. However, the vast majority were transcendent magic cores, and there were only a few saint-rank magic cores. Vivian glanced at the secretary and then respectfully accepted them. In a flash of dazzling light, the hundreds of magic cores turned into streams of light and merged into her body, simultaneously transferring to the core of the City of Angels statue. After learning about the information regarding the giant kingdom, Vivian said, "My lord, the energy is not very sufficient. It may be difficult to capture the giant kingdom in one fell swoop." Lin Yu waved his hand and said, "Don't worry, we will soon have a large number of magic cores coming in." Just at that moment, a huge figure suddenly flew in from the distant horizon. A smile appeared on Lin Yu's face. As expected, right on time. After a moment, a figure appeared at the main entrance of Paradise Town. After receiving Lin Yu's permission, the guards of the town immediately let the figure in. Soon, the figure arrived at the city wall of the City of Angels with a shocked expression. When he saw Lin Yu, he immediately knelt down on the ground, filled with excitement and fanaticism. "Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light. It is Barnett's honor to embrace the divine and the light under your guidance." This figure is none other than the mountain giant, Barnett, with a mid-level saint rank. At this moment, Lin Yu was also somewhat shocked when he saw the nearly 20-meter-tall mountain giant in front of him. Fallen angel, 7 meters tall, like a giant. Forest troll, generally around 10 meters tall, even more exaggerated than the fallen angel. But compared to the mountain giant, the forest troll appeared very small, only half the height of the mountain giant. Lin Yu found it hard to imagine that the size of humanoid creatures could be so exaggerated. This sense of shock was even greater than when he saw the nearly 100-meter-long body of the green dragon, Audrich. "Get up." Lin Yu raised his hand slightly and smiled, saying, "The light envelopes the myriad worlds, and the forces of evil and darkness will eventually fade away. It is fate, and it is also your future that you can abandon darkness and embrace the light under my guidance." Advertisement. Praise the great Lord. Mountain giant Barnett bowed again in excitement. Then, respectfully, he handed a ring to Lin Yu and said, "Great Lord, this is a magic core I collected from various mountain giant tribes, as well as various precious magical materials. Barnett is honored to serve the Lord." "You've done well." Lin Yu nodded slightly, showing his appreciation. However, he did not take the ring, because the diameter of this ring is thicker than his waist. There is no way to wear it. In general, in a situation like this, the Myriad World's floating island also provides a solution, which is to kill the mountain giant Barnett. If lucky, the ring will drop. Then Lin Yu can use it. Its size will not be as exaggerated as it is now, but will become a ring suitable for humans. Lin Yu said, "You keep this ring and take out the items inside." "Praise you, benevolent Lord." Mountain giant Barnett was very excited. Although this ring originally belonged to him, he had already dedicated it to the great Lord of Holy Light. So theoretically, the ring no longer belongs to him. Now, it is something bestowed upon him by the Lord of Holy Light. He cherished it like a treasure and put the ring back on his hand, then took out all the magic cores, magical materials, and other items stored inside. Nearly 10,000 magic cores, and a large number of precious materials that can be used to forge high-quality equipment. Lin Yu was very happy and collected all those materials and items into the town's warehouse, and then handed the magic cores to the 12-winged throne angel, Vivian. Do we have enough energy now? After Vivian consumed the magic cores, Lin Yu asked. Vivian immediately said, reporting to my lord, with the current energy, we have more than enough to conquer the giant kingdom. Very good. Lin Yu laughed. He turned to Angelia beside him and said, spread the word. The Angel Legion is to prepare for battle. Tomorrow morning, we will march on the giant kingdom. Yes, my lord. Secretarian bowed elegantly. In her golden eyes, which were like a dazzling starry sky, there was also a gentle smile. The Lord of Holy Light was in a happy mood. Naturally, she was also happy. The powerful city of angels, with abundant energy supply, made Lin Yu instantly full of confidence. He no longer regarded the local transcendent level power of the Dark Forest, the Giant Kingdom, as a threat. Lin Yu said to the beautiful secretary and me, Angelia, you will lead the war against the Giant Kingdom, and I only care about the outcome. As for the process, it's up to you. Yes, my lord. Angelia respectfully obeyed and said, the Angel Legion will definitely not disappoint you. We will quickly take down the Giant Kingdom and welcome your arrival. The great Lord of Holy Light once said, looking forward to standing on the ruins of the Giant Kingdom. Angelia always remembered this sentence. I'm waiting for your good news. Lin Yu nodded with a smile. He was not planning to go to the Giant Kingdom with the Angel Legion. He only needed to appear when the Angel Legion raised the banner of victory. At this moment, Lin Yu seemed to sense something and said, Woodrow has sent a message. Their team has arrived. They have stopped less than 200 kilometers away from our paradise town. Angelia, it's up to you. Yes, my lord. Angelia lowered her head slightly, and then her beautiful figure disappeared like a bubble. Lin Yu said to Vivian, the 12-winged throne angel behind him, let's go and take a look, but don't get too close to avoid affecting Angelia. Yes, sir. Vivian turned into a stream of light and integrated with the 12-winged throne angel statue in the center of the city. After a while, the city of angels began to shake slightly. Then, this huge city, spanning 8,000 kilometers, flew towards the distant horizon. Its speed was much faster than an Airbus. To the north of Paradise Town, about 200 kilometers away, a group of mountain giants appeared on the top of a mountain. They were not only huge in size, but also emitted terrifying magical fluctuations. If there were still wild monsters in this mountainous area, they would definitely be deterred by the aura emanating from them and flee in fear. Commander Woodrow, the mountain giant, pointed to a town below the distant horizon and said, That's Paradise Town. Let's hurry over. Wait. The Peak Saint Rank commander raised his hand to stop them. He looked into the distance and barely saw the situation inside Paradise Town. Inside the town, the densely packed figures instinctively made him choose to stay where he was. In this town, there are at least hundreds of thousands of living beings. How could a world from another dimension, which has not been developed for half a month, have so many residents? Furthermore, Paradise Town has clearly just experienced a war. Countless wild monsters and demons have been killed by the military forces of this town. It seems I have underestimated the strength of Paradise Town. The commander took a deep breath and said, Indeed, the elder was right. The development speed of Paradise Town is too fast. If we don't destroy it early, it will be the biggest disaster for the Dark Forest. Just then, his pupils suddenly contracted, revealing a look of shock. What is that? There is a city floating in mid-air over there. Even from such a distance, it looks enormous. This floating city is at least several thousand kilometers in size. Unbelievable. that overlord from another world can actually build a floating city. This technology has far surpassed the airships of the goblin race. The other mountain giants also saw the floating city of angels. Each of them gasped in astonishment, their faces filled with horror. Even for their giant kingdom, it would be completely impossible to build such a city, let alone the fact that the city was equipped with a large number of giant cannons. It was clear that the war power was extremely terrifying. Advertisement. Could this be something that an overlord from another world could build? If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they would never believe this scene before them. Commander, the situation in the enemy town is unknown. There may be hidden dangers. We need to be cautious. One of the mountain giants spoke up. The other mountain giants also expressed their agreement. They didn't care about the dense figures in Paradise Town. After all, they were all powerful saint-rank beings. Just release your domain, and you can easily kill ordinary professionals in groups. It is the towering city that makes them hesitate to act rashly. At this moment, the mountain giant Woodrow spoke again. What crisis can a town-level territory have? Moreover, Paradise Town has just experienced a large-scale war, which must have consumed a lot of resources. We should take this opportunity to attack. Waiting for the strong magic power in the town to recover will only make it more difficult. I agree. Mountain Giant Agutiki immediately raised his hand. The Grand Commander looked at the two of them with some confusion and asked, "Throughout this journey, both of you seem to be eager for us to enter Paradise Town. What's going on?" Woodrow asked in return, "Grand Commander, do you think we would betray the Titan True God and harm our own people?" "Of course not." The Grand Commander immediately dispelled his doubts. The Titan True God is the creator of the mountain giants. All mountain giants regard the Titan True God as their ancestor. Whether in the capital of the Giant Kingdom or in other mountain giant cities and tribes, they all worship the idol of the Titan True God. In the hearts of the mountain giants, the Titan is supreme. And the mountain giants have always followed the ancestral rule of unity and solidarity, living and dying together. Harming their own people would be betraying the will of the Titan ancestor. Such a thing has never happened before. Therefore, although the Grand Commander had many doubts and questions in his mind, he still chose to believe in Woodrow and firmly believed that Woodrow did not have the courage to betray the glory passed down by the Titan ancestor. What you said makes sense. We should take advantage of the opportunity and strike first. But at this moment, before the Grand Commander could finish speaking, ripples suddenly appeared in the void hundreds of meters away. Then, the void split open. An elegant and beautiful figure walked out from it. An aerial being? And a saint-rank powerhouse who controls spatial power. The Grand Commander's pupils slightly contracted. The other mountain giants also became alert. Spatial controllers have always been known for their strength and are considered invincible at the same level. Advertisement. Even if surrounded by numerous enemies, spatial controllers can easily escape from the battlefield. A mountain giant suddenly exclaimed in horror, "Grand Commander, she is not an aerial being, she is an angel, a terrifying race that is on par with the ancient Titans. Titans are supreme. The angel race disappeared tens of millions of years ago. Even in the myriad worlds battlefield, the angel race is just a legend. How could they appear in this broken world? Angels?" The mountain giants looked at each other in astonishment. Soon, they also remembered the legends recorded in the ancient scrolls of the kingdom. Their faces all turned pale. What frightened them the most was that there was not just one angel. In the distant Paradise Town, they saw a large number of glowing winged beings. All of them were angels. There were tens of thousands of them. "Grand Commander, we are in big trouble." The mountain giant exclaimed again. "That floating city in Paradise Town is the legendary City of Angels." City of Angels? Yes, it is the famous weapon of the angel race, capable of transmigrating space and attacking other dimensions. Legend has it that even the lowest level city of angels can slay true gods. All the mountain giants were stunned. Was this a joke? In this broken world, the most powerful beings are only peak demigods. Where can they find true gods to be slain by the city of angels? To conquer this world, the angel race actually used the city of angels? This made them feel like little chicks being slaughtered by a butcher's knife. It's flying, it's flying. Grand Commander, the throne angel city is flying. Some mountain giants shouted in shock. Looking up, they saw the massive white city flying towards them at an astonishing speed. In the blink of an eye, it crossed over 100 kilometers. Finally, it broke through the thick clouds and hovered in the sky thousands of meters away from them. The closer they looked at the city of angels, the stronger the sense of shock became. At the same time, they clearly saw several figures standing on the towering walls of the city of angels, looking down at them with a condescending gaze. The leader was a handsome human man. Behind him stood several beautiful and holy six-winged angels. The radiant holy light made it almost impossible for them to open their eyes. The figures on the city wall. Only 2 of them have reached the saint rank level, while the others are all transcendent and king level. The handsome man leading them is only at the transcendent late stage. This combination is not enough to intimidate the group of mountain giants present, as each of them is a saint rank powerhouse, and there is even a grand commander at the peak of the saint rank. But the problem is, the city beneath these figures' feet is the legendary city of angels. This is the main weapon of the angel clan in their attack on the dimensional world, capable of easily killing even true gods. Using the city of angels to deal with these small saint rank professionals. Isn't this like using a cannon to kill mosquitoes? What kind of virtue and ability do they have to receive such treatment from the angel clan? At this moment, thousands of meters in the sky, the massive city of angels disperses the surrounding clouds. Radiating with dazzling holy light, it is magnificent and dazzling, like a divine city, standing tall in the heavens. The human man with a handsome face looks down upon them from above with indifferent eyes, as if a deity overlooking all living beings. This scene is extremely shocking. It makes every saint rank mountain giant present tremble with fear. Before setting off, they never imagined that such a thing would happen. They didn't even consider Paradise Town as a threat. Previously, they had every reason to believe that they could easily destroy the territory of this otherworldly overlord without giving it a chance to develop. Who would have thought that they would encounter the legendary angel clan here? And even the city of angels has appeared. They even thought they were hallucinating for a moment, but reality shattered their wishful thinking. Because everything before their eyes is real. They can clearly sense the fear deep within their souls. With the arrival of the city of angels, every mountain giant present is enveloped in the fear of death, with those weaker even turning pale and trembling. Mountain giants are a renowned warlike race. Inheriting the will of the Titans, they can be said to fear nothing. But it also depends on the situation. Angels are on the same level as their Titan ancestors, at least according to the ancient records of their kingdom. Facing a mythical race that can rival the Titans, and even using war weapons. Advertisement. How could they not be afraid? Fortunately, the mountain giant, Barnett, has already left the city of angels. They didn't see him. Otherwise, they would be even more afraid. This is not the territory of an otherworldly overlord. This is simply a stronghold for the invasion of the angel clan. One mountain giant said in a terrified expression, "It's no longer a matter of life and death, but whether our kingdom, and even the entire floating island world, can survive this calamity. It can't be that serious, right?" In Paradise Town, there are only 100,000 angels. Although they have war weapons like the City of Angels, it would still be difficult for them to conquer the entire world. Foolish, the mountain giant said. Those angels in Paradise Town, including this throne angel city, must have been summoned by that otherworldly overlord. In less than half a month, he has summoned 100,000 angels. What does that mean? Perhaps it won't be long before he can summon millions of angels, tens of millions of angels, or even more city of angels. Tell me, can our small world withstand the attack of such a massive angel army? Upon hearing this analysis, the mountain giants present also realized the severity of the situation. Paradise Town, as well as the entire Dark Forest, is just the starting point for the Angel Clan. Their ultimate goal is definitely to conquer the world. This is terrifying. Retreat. Leave immediately and return to the kingdom. We must report the news of the angel clan's arrival to His Majesty. Elf Garden, Bone Temple, and Naga Kingdom must all prepare for war. Otherwise, Dark Forest is in danger. The threat of the angel clan to our world is greater than that of the void demons. Great Commander, why is that? A mountain giant with a puzzled expression said, "Void demons are bloodthirsty and enjoy destroying the world, but it seems that the angel clan wouldn't do such things. What do you know?" The solemn expression of the peak-ranked Saint Commander said, "According to rumors, when the angel clan conquers other worlds, anyone other than the faithful believers of the divine and the light are considered heretics and have no way out. If it were the arrival of the void demons, the major races of our world could unite and overcome the crisis, just like in the past, when all the races worked together to drive out the demons. But the angels are different. They are the leaders of the divine and light camp." Advertisement. The followers of the bright church in the bountiful great lands are all their believers. The humans there still worship the goddess of light and the supreme creator. What do you think will happen once those followers of the light know that the angelic spirits they worship and believe in have descended into this world? A mountain giant took a breath and said, "They will undoubtedly join without hesitation and consider Paradise Town as a sacred land. That's for sure." The commander said, "Angels are not demons, and it is difficult for all the races in the world to unite against them. Furthermore, the angel clan spreads their faith at an astonishing speed. It is hard to say that there won't be wise races joining them while the war is ongoing. Just look at the creatures inside Paradise Town. In less than half a month, tens of thousands of indigenous races have joined them. If we give them another half a month, all the indigenous races in the dark forest will suffer. Therefore, the threat of the angels is greater. If we don't eliminate Paradise Town and the angels here as soon as possible, the entire world will be in danger." Upon hearing this, the mountain giants present were filled with panic. Upon further consideration, angels are indeed much more terrifying than demons. What are we waiting for? Let's retreat quickly. Disperse and evacuate, everyone for themselves. We must bring this news back to the kingdom. The mountain giants nodded with solemn expressions. But just at this moment, two domain worlds suddenly appeared on the mountaintop, enveloping all the mountain giants present. Several early-stage Saint-rank mountain giants, who were slightly weaker in strength, were immediately pressed to the ground, spitting out blood. The other mountain giants were also in a bad state. Their faces were pale, mainly because the attack came too suddenly, and the attackers were right beside them, catching them completely off guard. "Damn it!" The peak-ranked Saint Commander roared angrily. His strength was astonishing. Even when enveloped by two domain worlds, he could still unleash terrifying power and speed, instantly sending two figures flying with his attacks. At the same time, he forcibly destroyed the two domains. "What are you two trying to do? Have you gone mad?" The commander glared angrily at the two figures that were sent flying. They were Woodrow and Agutagai, the mountain giants. Both of them spat out blood, then slowly stood up. Woodrow, at the late stage of saint rank, spoke, "Great Commander, the great Lord of Holy Light has descended into this world. Light is about to dispel the darkness and envelop all races. Our mountain giant clan should also seek a new future." Upon hearing Woodrow's words, the peak commander of the saint rank, as well as the other mountain giants present, all had a stunned expression. They all looked at Woodrow and Agutki with an incredulous gaze. "How dare you two betray the Titan ancestors?" A mountain giant shouted loudly, his voice filled with disbelief. No one had expected that. There would actually be mountain giants who dared to betray the true god Titan. This completely shattered their understanding. The peak commander of the saint rank was also shocked and said, "Woodrow, Agutki, have your souls been purified by those angels? No wonder I felt that something was off about you all along the way. Betraying the great true god Titan, you will eventually be punished. Your names will forever be nailed to the pillar of shame of the mountain giant clan." "Commander, the Titans have already forgotten us," Woodrow said with a devout expression. "Only the Lord of Holy Light can guide our tribe forward. Even on the battlefield of myriad worlds, the brilliance of the Holy Lord still shines brightly, making all the gods bow." The commander took a deep breath and said, "The faith and magic of the Angel clan are indeed as terrifying as the legends say. Even the resolute mountain giants cannot escape having their minds twisted. If Paradise Town is not destroyed, this world will be consumed by the faith of the angels. Pay no attention to them, let's go." The commander immediately prepared to lead the mountain giants away. At this moment, Aguki spoke up and said, "Commander, you cannot escape. Your fate has been sealed since the moment you left the capital. Shameful traitors." A mountain giant spat on the ground fiercely. Aguki didn't mind, but instead said with fanatical eyes, "It is our honor to believe in the Almighty Creator. Soon, the million mountain giants of the kingdom will also become followers of our Lord." "You damn traitor!" An angry mountain giant at the Saint Rank late stage prepared to charge towards Aguki, but he was stopped by the commander. At the same time, the commander's gaze turned to a few hundred meters away. An elegant figure was walking towards them. Her steps were light, and the space around her distorted. The beautiful figure flickered like an illusion, looking very eerie. Most importantly, the commander clearly sensed that the surging spatial power in the world was converging towards the mountain they were in, forming a cage that imprisoned the mountain. This was one of the most representative abilities of a spatial controller. Spatial confinement. If it incorporated the power of time, it would be temporal confinement, and the power of sealing would be even more terrifying. Aguki is right, we can't escape. Advertisement. First, capture this six-winged angel. With her as a hostage, the City of Angels will definitely not dare to attack easily. Commander, a mountain giant whispered. She is an 8-winged angel, with a pair of glowing wings behind her. It is said that once an angel surpasses 6-winged, the wings behind them will turn into wings of flowing light, non-substantial existence. The commander's face twitched. He really wanted to slap him. Is it the time to be concerned about the number of wings now? Don't waste words. Attack together and capture her. Yes, Commander. Even if she is an angel, a mere saint rank late stage, she dares to intercept us alone. She is truly arrogant. I have slain winged humans and swan people of the beast race, but I have never slain an angel. Kill. A group of massive mountain giants charged towards Angelia. During the charge, they all released their domains. A total of 11 domain worlds. They overlapped, forming an area with terrifying gravity. Even if a saint rank professional entered this area, if their strength wasn't very strong, they would be crushed into a pulp in the blink of an eye by the terrifying gravity. After all, this was a gravity area created by 11 saint rank mountain giants working together. It would be easy to crush a mountain. Behind them, the mountain giant Woodrow and Agutiki were also prepared to take action and assist the Holy Envoy. But in the next second, they decisively retreated and moved away from the battlefield. Because they received orders from the Holy Envoy, they were no longer needed for what was to come. Despite some confusion, they faithfully carried out their orders. Woodrow, can the Holy Envoy really suppress 11 saint rank experts on her own? Don't ask too many questions. If the Holy Envoy says she can, then she definitely can. That's right. On the other side, they watched as the overlapping domain was about to envelop Angelia. The distance was less than 3 meters. However, it was this short 3-meter distance. No matter how hard the group of saint rank mountain giants exerted their power, their domain could not advance even half a step. It was as if there was an invisible wall in front of them, firmly blocking their domain. Commander, how can her power be so strong? Even with the 11 of us working together, we can't break through her spatial blockade. The feeling she gives me is not like a saint rank level, but an invincible demigod. Are all angels as powerful as her? Advertisement. That's impossible. The peak saint rank commander roared. Swinging a huge hammer with both hands, he fiercely smashed towards the invisible wall in front of him. With a loud bang, sparks flew and the void trembled. Then, the 20-meter-tall commander was sent flying and spat out a mouthful of thick blood in midair. "Commander!" The other mountain giants exclaimed in shock. "I'm fine." The commander staggered to his feet, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, and looked at Angelia, who stood in the air with an indifferent expression, with an incredulous gaze. A rare master of space. Plus, a legendary god-level race. So, this is what created the terrifying strength of this saint-rank angel before him. Her power has already surpassed the realm of saint rank. She is on par with the ruler of our kingdom. Damn it! How did Paradise Town develop so quickly? Such powerful beings have emerged so soon. The commander could now be sure that there was no such thing as the 4 Dragon Lords. It was fabricated by Woodrow and Agitiki. The Green Dragon Aldrich was very likely already killed by Paradise Town. The destroyed subsidiary territories were also the work of Paradise Town. But there was one thing he didn't understand. Since Woodrow and Agitiki had already joined Paradise Town and believed in the Lord of Holy Light, why did they take the risk to return to the capital? What was their purpose? However, there was no time for him to think about it. In the distance, the terrifying 8-winged angel actually pulled out a divine sword burning with golden flames from the void. This instinctively made him feel a great crisis. Be careful. The commander loudly reminded and quickly regrouped. Just at this moment, the angelic sword in Angelia's hand slashed towards the overlapping domain. In an instant, 100-meter-long sword light cut through the sky, directly splitting the overlapping domain, composed of 11 domains in half, as if she had split open a world. Familiar and satisfying. On the other hand, the saint-rank mountain giants were all spitting out blood and heavily injured. Among them, 3 mountain giants were extremely unlucky. They were directly hit by the sword light and died before they could even scream. Witnessing this scene, the other mountain giants were filled with despair and anger. However, they didn't have time to mourn because the enemy was too strong. With one sword strike, 11 domains collapsed. This power is as strong as a demigod. If they're not careful, they will all have to stay here. Even the peak saint rank Grand Commander can't protect them completely. So, they don't have time to grieve for their sacrificed comrades. Amidst the angry roars, they wielded their hammers, swords, and other weapons to attack Angelia. At the same time, rolling thunderclouds quickly appeared in the sky. Then, bolts of purple lightning as thick as water buckets descended from the sky, directly striking towards Angelia. The mountain giant clan inherits the bloodline of the Titans, Thunder Titans, Storm Titans, etc., possessing the power of thunder and the ability to summon lightning from the natural world to attack enemies. In addition, they also inherit the power, defense, and even size of the Titans from later generations. Although greatly weakened, they still have no problem surpassing ordinary intelligent races. Crackling, countless purple lightning bolts struck down. Some fell on the top of the mountains, directly shattering them. This shows how powerful the might of lightning is. If it were other saint rank professionals, they would basically have no way out. But in front of Angelia, these tactics are meaningless. As Angelia released her domain, all the descending lightning was blocked outside, and not a single trace of lightning could penetrate her domain barrier. Titans above all. What kind of domain is this? Holy, light, space, annihilation, judgment, divine punishment. How can there be so many attributes? Even our majesty. A mountain giant exclaimed in horror. But before he could finish speaking, his body disintegrated. Not turning into a corpse, but disappearing like foam. Except for the soul, everything else, including the equipment on his body, vanished completely. What a joke. Even a true god couldn't be this abnormal. A mountain giant roared in shock and anger, swinging his giant sword towards Angelia, who was also in the domain. Bang! This mountain giant and his giant sword disintegrated together. But it wasn't over yet. The next moment, an even more shocking scene appeared. Behind Angelia, an illusory supersized angel figure suddenly appeared. The figure's face was blurry, but it had an astonishing 18 angel wings. It wore a magnificent crown on its head and held a scepter symbolizing power and supremacy. Under the terrified gaze of the mountain giants, it opened its golden eyes and coldly looked down on them, then spoke in a soft voice, "Lowly heretics, face the judgment of the Holy Lord and die." As soon as the words fell, countless holy swords fell from the void. The remaining 6 mountain giants had no resistance at all and were all pierced by the holy swords. Even the peak Saint Rank Grand Commander suffered the same fate, turning into a honeycomb. One move, 6 Saint Ranks, all beheaded. After completing all this, the enormous 18-winged angel phantom raised its golden eyes again and looked at the purple thunderclouds gathering in the sky, coldly saying, "Who gave you the audacity to spy on the Almighty? Begone." Advertisement. With a light reprimand, the rolling thunderclouds instantly dissipated. Thousands of meters in the sky. On the towering walls of the City of Angels, Lin Yu sat cross-legged on the ground, breaking through his realm. When Angelia killed 3 Saint Rank mountain giants with one sword, he had already reached the required number of kills to advance to Saint Rank. A prompt from the myriad world's floating island appeared at the right time, prompting him to advance to Saint Rank. Naturally, there was no need to hesitate, and Lin Yu immediately chose to break through. In an instant, a massive amount of primal energy appeared in his body, tearing apart every piece of flesh, bone, and even cells. Everything in his body was greatly strengthened. At the same time, the energy vortex in his body was also expanding rapidly. The energy it contained underwent a qualitative change, becoming purer and denser. Its power increased exponentially. This breakthrough lasted a long time, and Lin Yu's consciousness was fully immersed in it. He didn't even notice when the City of Angels returned to Paradise Town. Darkness struck, and the war began again. Legions of angels and territorial troops orderly poured out from the Angel Town, engaging in battle with the undead creatures outside the city. Compared to last night, today's battle was much easier. Firstly, the levels of the territorial troops had skyrocketed, making them stronger. Secondly, the number of undead creatures had greatly decreased, roughly estimated to be only 20% of last night's scale. Thirdly, the size of the angel legions had increased again. The combination of these 3 factors made tonight's night battle much easier. A group of Saint Rank powerhouses within the territory, such as Angelia, Elena, Gladys, Doris, Rain, and others, did not participate in the war. They left the battlefield experience to other angels and territorial troops. Soon, it was late at night. Lin Yu was still sitting cross-legged on the city wall of the City of Angels. However, he was not alone. Near him stood Angelia, Elena, and others, guarding him. Even the controller of the City of Angels, 12-winged throne angel Vivian, appeared, in the form of consciousness, and stood respectfully by his side. I don't know how long it has been. Vivian couldn't help but come behind Angelia and respectfully said, "Your Majesty, the speed of my lord's promotion is too slow. When will he return to his peak?" All 3 majesties are discussing bringing our Lord back to the divine domain. In this way, our Lord will immediately be able to control the power of the Creator and exert pressure on the myriad worlds. Why does the promotion have to be so slow? Angelia glanced at her sideways. The indifferent gaze made Vivian lower her head in fear. Angelia said coldly, "When our Lord chose to forcibly strip away the divine nature, abandon all his power, and leave the divine domain, there must have been a purpose. Bringing our Lord back will certainly allow him to regain his power. But it is also highly likely to disrupt our Lord's plan. Although I don't know what the Lord wants to do, as believers, we only need to follow the Lord's footsteps. Tell them not to act on their own. Even if they self-destruct, they will find it difficult to atone for destroying the Lord's plan." "I understand." 12-winged throne angel Vivian nodded hurriedly, indicating her understanding. She dared not say anything more. She only cast her reverent and fanatical gaze at the handsome figure sitting on the ground. Advertisement. In the island's chat channel, there was a commotion, all because of the appearance of a piece of news. Do you guys believe there is a God in this world? Of course I do. When I become an eternal true God and return to the blue star, I will be God. Get lost and play with clouds. I just want to tell you guys that I saw God today. Yes, it was Lin Yu. You can't even imagine where he was when I saw him. What's going on? When did Lin Yu become God? Speaking of which, in Western mythology, angels are created by God. Now, since Lin Yu can summon angels, isn't he similar to God? That's too far-fetched. God is omnipotent, the ruler of all things. Forget about that. I'm just curious about what the brother upstairs saw. Curiosity +1. You may not believe it when I say this, but I saw a city, a gigantic city floating in the clouds. It was completely white and emitted a divine light, like a palace of gods. That gigantic city was unbelievably huge. It stood in the sky, shattering the clouds, making even aircraft carriers look like chicks in front of it. I also saw that the city was loaded with a large number of giant cannons. It gave me the feeling that one shot from those cannons could blast a mountain apart. When the gigantic city appeared, Lin Yu, the boss, was standing on top of the city wall. Beside him, there was also a group of 6-winged angels. The momentum was so awe-inspiring that only the words awesome could describe it. Could it be that due to a low cultural level, they couldn't find more adjectives? Brother upstairs, you're arguing with the sky, the earth, and the air. Regardless, the island's chat channel was in turmoil. All the professionals were shocked. A city that could fly into the clouds was beyond their imagination. That gigantic city must be the Angel Clan's weapon of war. Previously, Lin Yu claimed that he would conquer the Dark Forest in 20 days. At first, I didn't believe it, but now I do. The gigantic city is Lin Yu's secret weapon. I have a premonition that the Dark Forest is about to experience a bloody storm. How did Lin Yu build such a flying city? Can the floating island world produce relevant blueprints? Who knows? I always feel like all the good things fall into Lin Yu's lap. With him around, us overlord professionals have no way to play. As for competing for the position of Island Lord, that's even more hopeless. If Lin Yu really conquers the Dark Forest within 20 days, there's no point in competing for the position of Island Lord. We should just surrender. That's you. I would never surrender. I can just leave the floating island and go back to Blue Star to enjoy life. Or I can transfer to another floating island world and leave Lin Yu to play on this island alone. Agreed. I'm just waiting for the energy of the professional seal to fill up. As long as the energy bar reaches 100%, I can teleport back to Blue Star at any time. I'm not afraid of Lin Yu chasing me to Blue Star, right? You hit the nail on the head. Now, all the professionals are desperately killing monsters in the wilderness. Some even venture out to hunt undead creatures at night. Besides improving their strength, it's all to quickly fill up the energy bar. If they can't win, can't they just run away? As for the problem of the cross-realm teleportation array breaking down, that's not within their consideration. After all, such a thing has never happened before. Darkness shrouds the entire floating island. However, it cannot invade Paradise Town, which is filled with sacred and luminous power. The magnificent city of angels radiates divine light. It hovers about a kilometer above Paradise Town, illuminating not only Paradise Town itself, but also the surrounding area for tens of thousands of meters. In this area, undead creatures are almost impossible to hide. Furthermore, their evil power is severely suppressed. Even the weaker low-level undead creatures stumble as they walk. Some of them even fall apart while walking. This is because the evil power within them, even their soul fire, has been purified by the divine radiance emitted by the city of angels. Divine, luminous. Evil, darkness. The two factions are in opposition to each other. When one faction's power becomes strong enough, it becomes a devastating blow to the other faction. Just like the city of angels. Without using the loaded magic cannons. Just the radiance it emits has cleansed countless low-level undead creatures. It also greatly suppresses those slightly stronger undead creatures. Looking around, One can see scenes of battles everywhere within tens of thousands of meters around Paradise Town. But compared to last night, the intensity is much weaker. The undead creatures on the battlefield also have almost no ability to resist. They are being killed in large numbers by the territorial troops led by the Angel Legion. On the territory's side, the magic cannons on the city walls are no longer firing, mainly because there are too few undead creatures. Although killing them with the magic cannons can yield items, the territorial troops cannot gain experience from it, which is a waste. Therefore, all the magic cannons in the territory have been disabled. A kilometer above, on the towering walls of the City of Angels, Lin Yu has been sitting quietly for over 4 hours. This promotion time is the longest he has ever experienced. Previously, when he was leveling up, it would take at most half an hour. If it weren't for Lin Yu's aura still present and his body constantly emitting powerful energy fluctuations, it would be possible for people to suspect that something unexpected happened during his promotion. Advertisement. It's unknown how much time has passed. Suddenly, a message from Myriad World's floating island appeared in Lin Yu's consciousness. Congratulations, Lin Yu Overlord. You have successfully mastered the power of the domain, with the attributes of sacred and luminous. Next, you need to comprehend the laws of sacred and luminous on the basis of the domain. At that time, you will be able to step into the realm of demigod. You can also choose to rely on faith as the foundation to become a demigod. Special reminder: although the path of faith can help you smoothly become a demigod and even ascend to become a true god, the drawbacks of the faith system are significant. Your power will depend on your followers. The rise and fall of your followers will directly affect the strength of your divine power. Although the path of laws is perilous and full of difficulties, your strength will not be affected or bound by external factors. Choose carefully how you ascend to demigod and become an eternal true god. Outside, Lin Yu has not yet awakened, and Secretary, who has been waiting by his side, reveals a hint of joy on her exquisite and beautiful face. My lord has succeeded, mastering the domain of the sacred and the luminous attributes. In addition, there is also a creative aura emanating from my lord. It is the core source of creation that my lord used to create all things in the world. When my lord becomes a god and gains the power of faith, my lord will be able to use the power of faith as fuel to create everything. Angelia's expression was extremely excited. Standing beside her, 12-winged throne angel Vivian, as well as 6-winged seeker angel Elena and others, were also filled with excitement, gazing at the handsome figure sitting quietly with a fanatical and reverent look. The power of creation is the strongest power of the Lord of Holy Light. Just as Angelia said, the Lord of Holy Light who possesses the power of creation can create all things in the world. According to the scripture, in the ancient times long before, the great Lord of Holy Light used the source of creation to create light and countless stars in the chaotic world, and created 2 chaotic archangels. Later, the universe gave birth to myriad worlds. At the cost of consuming the source of creation, the Lord of Holy Light created the vast divine domain of the Lord and the first angelic reincarnation pool for the angelic race. On the day of creation, 7 18-winged grand archangels were born from the angelic reincarnation pool. Since then, the Lord of Holy Light has never used the source of creation again. The countless miracles of creation in the endless ages afterward were all accomplished by borrowing the power of faith. Advertisement. Using creation as a guide and faith as fuel, the Lord of Holy Light created all things. Now, the aura of creation has revived within the Lord of Holy Light. As long as he becomes a god, he can ignite the power of faith and create everything. Angelia understood one thing very clearly. The giant kingdom's supreme commander she had slain was shocked by the various attributes contained within her domain. Even the true god would not be so terrifying, some of the mountain giants claimed. But in reality, compared to the great Lord of Holy Light, she was far inferior. Because the source of creation, that the Lord of Holy Light possesses, is the beginning of all things. As long as the Lord of Holy Light wishes, creating laws directly is a simple matter, such as time, fate, causality, and other supreme laws. The great Lord of Holy Light can create them all. This is the power of the Lord. Omnipotent, omnipresent, all-encompassing, all-knowing. Finally, Lin Yu woke up and opened his eyes. The powerful energy fluctuations emanating from his body also receded into him. The power of the mighty saint rank. A clear expression of joy appeared on Lin Yu's handsome face. He could clearly sense that after advancing to the saint rank and mastering the power of the domain, he was dozens of times stronger than when he was at the transcendent late stage. Compared to now, his previous self was nothing. He could be crushed with just one finger. The energy in my body has also transformed into the power of the sacred and the luminous. When attached to the domain, it inflicts multiple times the damage on creatures of the evil and dark factions. If I envelop myself in the domain, I can even transform into the aurora and fly to the sky in an instant. In addition, I have mastered various skills related to the sacred and the luminous, such as the Holy Cross Sword, Holy Light Slash, Luminous Triple Slash, Holy Light Shield, and other powerful combat techniques. In short, after advancing to the saint rank, Lin Yu's power has been comprehensively enhanced. It seems that I have also awakened a very special power hidden within my body, integrated union with the power of faith. But I still don't know the purpose of this power for now. Myriad World's floating island has not mentioned it either. Lin Yu planned to study it carefully when he had some free time. Even if he couldn't figure it out, it didn't matter. Because as his level increases, that special power will gradually reveal itself to him. Congratulations, my lord, on your promotion to saint rank. Upon seeing Lin Yu wake up, Angelia and the other angels immediately bowed respectfully. Lin Yu smiled and said, "It's just a promotion to saint rank. What's there to congratulate? Wait until I become the eternal true God. Then it will be appropriate to congratulate me." Although he said that, he was actually very happy. The veteran professionals on Blue Star had been developing for a year, and the highest level they reached was only saint rank. In other words, if he were to return to Blue Star now, he would be a peak powerhouse, able to roam freely in every country. Unfortunately, the teleportation array was broken by the Myriad World's floating island. He didn't know if it had been repaired yet. Lin Yu looked at the beautiful and elegant secretary and said with a smile, "You have also gained a lot, successfully reaching the peak of saint rank." Angelia lowered her head slightly and said, "It all comes from the Lord's favor." Lin Yu nodded and asked, "Did you kill all those mountain giants?" After Angelia killed 3 mountain giants with one sword, he entered a closed-door cultivation state and only woke up now, so he didn't see what happened afterwards. Secretarian respectfully said, "Rest assured, my lord. I killed all the mountain giant heretics that attacked. Not one escaped." "Good," Lin Yu praised. Angelia easily defeated 10 mountain giants of the same level. It was truly incredible. Lin Yu had reason to believe that most 8-winged angels would not be able to do the same. She truly was his secretary, never disappointing him and always surprising him. Just then, a message from the Myriad World's floating island appeared. "Congratulations, Lin Yu, on becoming an overlord. As the first professional to reach saint rank and master a domain on the floating island, you will receive 3,000 glory points and 10,000 reputation points as rewards. Your name will shine in the island's chat channel, inspiring other professionals to forge ahead." What an unexpected gain! Lin Yu grinned. Both glory points and reputation points were extremely valuable. The former could be exchanged for the divine weapon he had long desired, the Origin Scepter. The latter was a necessity for establishing a kingdom. As for the world announcement, he wasn't too concerned. With his current reputation and fame, he didn't need a world announcement to add to his glory. There were almost no professionals on the island who didn't know him. Then, Lin Yu opened his information panel to check. Lin Yu. Profession. Overlord. Level. Saint rank initial. Domain attributes. Holy, light, unknown. Advertisement. Glory points. 21,800. Reputation points. 59,400. Territory. Paradise Town. Low-level town. Exclusive unit. Angel. Unique? Gold coins, 856,300. 3 domain attributes, the third one is unknown. Indeed, my perception was not wrong. I have indeed awakened a special power, a power that even the rules of the floating island cannot detect. It must be very powerful. Lin Yu was overjoyed. Then, he looked at the glory points column. I now have nearly 21,200 glory points. I only need to double that, and I can exchange for the origin scepter. And I still have 4 days left. In 4 days, the glory items menu would refresh. After that time, it would no longer be 40,000 glory points to exchange for the origin scepter. It is very likely that hundreds of thousands will be needed. In addition, not only the origin scepter, but other items will also experience a significant price increase. Therefore, Lin Yu must gather more glory points within these 4 days, as much as possible. Once this opportunity is gone, this shop may no longer exist. Lin Yu summoned 4 artisan angels, including Coral and Marianne, and said, I saw that you were working on building the second city of angels. Don't rush, I have a task for you. By tonight, you must create a batch of teleportation arrays. One of the teleportation arrays should be built within the town and connected to the city of angels. As for the other teleportation arrays, they should be placed in an area 150 kilometers away from the territory to facilitate the daily hunting of the territory's army. Yes, Lord of Holy Light. Coral, Marianne, and the other 4 artisan angels immediately respectfully obeyed the order. For them, as long as they have the materials, creating teleportation arrays is as easy as doing simple addition and subtraction within 10 for high school students. Lin Yu looked at the beautiful Angelia and asked, Have you finished counting the spoils from today? The secretary replied, Reporting to my lord, all the spoils have been counted. Good. Then let's return to the Hall of the Overlord. Before leaving, Lin Yu said to the ethereal figure of the 12-winged throne angel, Vivian, I leave the city of the throne angel to you. Tomorrow, set sail for the giant kingdom. Yes, my lord. Vivian respectfully lowered her head. As a 12-winged angel, Vivian's appearance and temperament were impeccable. Advertisement. Unfortunately, she was only a consciousness. Lin Yu looked forward to her true form descending into this world. Just as Lin Yu held the soft hand of the secretary and led the group of angels back to the Hall of the Overlord, the chat channel on the island also erupted as expected. Rows of shining golden characters were placed at the top of the chat channel, dazzling and eye-catching. All the players were shocked. What the F***? Is this some kind of international joke? It's only the 11th day since the server opened, and Lin Yu is already a Saint rank player? If given a month, wouldn't he become a god directly? I was wrong. I apologize for what I said before. Once Lin Yu becomes an eternal true god, even if we escape back to the blue star, it will be useless. The terrifying power of the gods can destroy the entire blue star. Can we talk about something lighter? You scared me. Didn't Floating Island say that Overlord players have to kill 10 enemies of the Saint rank to advance to the Saint rank? How did the Paradise Town army accomplish such a difficult task so quickly? And where are there so many Saint rank enemies for Paradise Town to kill? Why ask so many questions? The world announcement is out, so it can't be fake. I can only say that Lin Yu's promotion speed is too terrifying. My level is still only mid-level 4. You talk as if I've already reached level 5. At this stage, most players are between level 3 and level 5. The top players may have reached level 6 or even level 7. But compared to Lin Yu, we're all trash. Saint rank, the legendary domain controller. I am completely transformed by envy for Lin Yu. I'm even worse off. I'm turning purple with suspicion, suspecting that I've been poisoned. Vulgar, smelly man. Miss Upstairs, I only acknowledge the first word in your statement. Oh? I have already foreseen the scene of Lord Lin Yu ascending to the position of Island Lord and ruling the entire floating island world. The 8 regions, the countless races, all will submit. The scene is enough to give people chills. Shouldn't we be filled with passion? Leaving aside the rest, I just want to know why Lord Lin Yu didn't sell equipment tonight? Our team has been eagerly waiting. Same question. Lin Yu naturally wouldn't forget to sell equipment. Even though it was late at night, it didn't affect anything. He put all the neatly organized equipment on the island trading platform, with over 8,000 pieces of equipment of different levels. All of them were the harvest from eliminating the beast tide during the day. In addition to the equipment crafted by the blacksmith workshop, the total quantity reached nearly 10,000 pieces. As soon as so many equipment were listed, the entire chat channel was shaken. Countless professionals expressed their shock. With the help of this batch of equipment, they could roughly estimate how many wild monsters Paradise Town had killed today. So powerful. At least over 10 million wild monsters have been killed by Paradise Town. In addition to these equipment, Lin Yu's army corps must have also obtained a large number of gold coins, blueprints, and other items. He's really making a fortune. It's hard to imagine how wealthy Paradise Town is. Over 10 million wild monsters. Just the decomposed beast meat alone amounts to over 100 million units, and it might even reach several billion units. Sigh. With so much food, can Paradise Town finish eating it all? Why do you care so much? Killing over 10 million wild monsters. No wonder Lin Yu can be promoted to Saint rank. Ha ha ha. Brothers, it's worth enduring until now. I finally managed to snatch 3 pieces of equipment sold by Lin Yu, and all of them are level 4, perfect for me to use now. I also snatched a level 5 equipment. I have to admit, Lin Yu is much more conscientious than other equipment merchants on the island. Especially those apex level overlords, they treat low-level equipment as high-level equipment and sell them like swindlers. I've seen an overlord professional selling a middle-level ordinary equipment for 1,000 gold coins. Do they really think we combat professionals are idiots? Lin Yu doesn't bother with those trivial matters, and all his equipment is sold at normal prices. For us combat professionals, this is good news. When this batch of equipment is sold, the size of Lin Yu's Angel Legion under his command will probably directly exceed 100,000. Envious. As an overlord professional, I only have over 2,300 troops, and they are all middle-level troops. Brother upstairs, you're already doing great. As for Lin Yu, don't compare yourself to him. He's not a normal person. Agreed. Speaking of which, after the secret of Lin Yu's City of Angels leaked, what do the overlord professionals in Dark Forest think? What else can they think? They're just waiting to be attacked. Even I, who is far away on the 36 islands, am trembling. These days, life is unbearable. At the same time, the Grand Alliance channel was also very lively. In the past 2 days, the number of people in the Alliance channel had increased rather than decreased. Everyone who entered was either an Alliance leader, an Apex-level overlord, or a high-level overlord. Advertisement. If other alliances were like various martial arts sects, then this a Grand Alliance channel was the Martial Arts Summit, gathering all the prominent figures on the island. The combined power of the members in this channel was terrifying. It surpassed the entire floating island. At Xia Qingyue Beauty, I think you should just self-destruct your territory. Lin Yu already has the City of Angels. Sweeping Dark Forest is just a matter of time. If you stay in Dark Forest, you will eventually face his Angel Legion. If they were sacred angels, it would be better. But if you encounter Lin Yu's fallen Angel Legion, you won't even have a chance to surrender. Indeed, at Xia Qingyue, losing your territory is better than losing your life. The floating island is the real world. If you die, you're really dead. Wait a little longer. I'm not willing to give up just like this. I still want to fight. Besides, my energy bar is already at 85%, and it will soon be full. Even if something unexpected happens, I can teleport back to Blue Star. That's true, but what do you have to compete with Lin Yu? The combat power of Frost Dragons is also very strong among Apex-level troops, but your Frost Dragon Legion is too small. Lin Yu has the City of Angels and 100,000 angel army. Sweeping through, even the Dragon Island might not be able to stop them. It's better to self-destruct your territory now. You can still lead your existing Frost Dragon Legion to develop in other regions. After all, dragons can fly, and leaving Dark Forest won't be difficult. In a certain area of Dark Forest, Xia Qingyue lay on the bed in her bedroom. Although her bedroom was small, it was decorated with various ornaments that she personally arranged. It looked very delicate and could be seen as a girl's room at a glance. She looked at the messages in the Grand Alliance channel. She couldn't help but fall into silence. She had originally thought that she still had enough time to develop. However, Lin Yu repeatedly shattered her fantasies and her aspirations for the future. Battles for island dominance, becoming an island lord, none of it mattered anymore. What she needed to consider now was how to preserve her overlord status. As those people on the channel said, if she self-destructed her territory, she could indeed save her life and safely leave the Dark Forest with a legion of dragons. But what about the future? Without a territory, she wouldn't be able to recruit dragons anymore. Her existing dragon units would also diminish one by one. Once all the dragon units were wiped out, what would differentiate her from a combat professional? This was not the fate she desired. As Xia Qingyue, an apex-level overlord, she should have a better future. Before, I was thinking of using the power of the combat professionals in the Dark Forest to resist Lin Yu's Angel Legion, but now, it seems that this idea is nothing more than a pipe dream. Lin Yu has 100,000 angel army, and the City of Angels, a weapon of war. In just one day and night, they annihilated millions of undead creatures and wild monsters. With such terrifying military strength, how can combat professionals withstand it? Even if all the combat professionals in the Dark Forest were concentrated in my territory, it would only be a few million people, not enough for Lin Yu's angel army to kill. Being fixated on this plan will only lead me to a dead end. Xia Qingyue knew that she only had two choices now. First, self-destruct her territory and take her existing legion of dragons to develop in other regions. Advertisement. Second, become friends with Lin Yu and surrender. If the latter succeeded, she could preserve her identity as an overlord professional. As for what she said in the Alliance channel, I'm not willing to give up. I want to fight. Even if something unexpected happens, I can return to Blue Star. It was all a lie. Facing the overwhelming power of Paradise Town, what's the point of fighting? She didn't want to engage in meaningless struggles. And she definitely didn't want to hand her legion of dragons over to Lin Yu's angels as experience points. Either escape or surrender. Those were the only two options. Without much hesitation, Xia Qingyue opened the friends list and sent a message to Bright Village Chief. I know you've secretly established a Radiant Alliance, and Lin Yu is also in it. Help me contact him. I have something to say to him. Sister Xia, it's not that I don't want to help you, but unless it's something extremely important, I dare not disturb the boss. I don't want to fight against the Angel Legion, and I don't want to self-destruct my territory. Understood, Sister Xia. It's too late now, but I'll contact the boss early tomorrow morning. Receiving this reply, Xia Qingyue let out a long sigh of relief. For some reason, she now felt much more at ease. Paradise Town, Hall of the Overlord. Legions of angels, fully equipped, flew out from the summoning black hole. Among them were not only the Holy Angel Legion, but also the Fallen Angel Legion, all commanded by the six-winged angels. When the number of small angel legions flying out reached 10, an eight-winged angel would follow and fly out of the black hole. In the blink of an eye, the Hall of the Overlord was filled with countless angels. The same went for the territory's plaza outside. After selling this batch of equipment and blueprints, I have over 460,000 gold coins in my hands. I can summon 16 fully equipped, medium-sized angel legions. The total number of angels is 81,776, including 16 eight-winged angels and 166 winged angels. At this point, I have a total of 180,000 angels. Lin Yu was very happy, watching the angels fly out of the black hole in groups. It's unclear how much time had passed. Suddenly, roars came from within the summoning black hole, as if a giant beast was roaring. After a moment, a group of six-winged fallen angels, resembling goddesses of war, flew out of the black hole. In their hands, they were dragging thick, blood-red chains. Soon, terrifying monsters covered in black scales and with 3 dragon heads each were forcibly dragged out of the summoning black hole by them. These monsters were all over 100 meters in size, emitting a strong aura of hell. What the hell is this? Lin Yu widened his eyes. He clearly summoned angels, so why were there monsters appearing? Angelia, standing beside him, also saw the monsters being dragged out by the group of 6-winged fallen angels, and black lines appeared on her crystal-clear forehead. That guy was really not following the rules. Angelia is a little unhappy. She feels that Astia has violated the rules. Originally, all the angels summoned by the Lord of Holy Light were holy angels from their camp. However, Astia escaped from hell and single-handedly challenged the 3 18-winged Grand Archangels. Of course, Astia couldn't possibly match the 3 18-winged Grand Archangels, but she forcefully manipulated the summoning black hole with her supreme divine power. In the end, she forced the 3 18-winged Grand Archangels to agree to release some fallen angels. However, Astia was still not satisfied. Once again, she violated the rules and released the hellish monsters. What does this mean? Is she trying to challenge the authority of their holy angel camp over the Lord's divine domain? Or does she want to take away the Lord of Holy Light's favor towards their holy angels? Hellhound? At this moment, Angelia heard the voice of the Lord of Holy Light. There was a hint of surprise in his voice. Secretarian rubbed her forehead. Obviously, the Lord of Holy Light was very interested in these hellish monsters released by Astia. This made her quite helpless. There are no monsters in the Lord's divine domain, because the holy angels believe that the Lord's divine domain is sacred and cannot be desecrated. The angels created by the Lord of Holy Light are the unique inhabitants of the Lord's divine domain. So even if she wanted to bring a batch of monsters for the Lord of Holy Light, she couldn't do it. As for why fallen angels have monsters, it's because hell was originally the severed half of the underworld. The underworld itself is filled with countless evil creatures. Hellish dragons, hellish phoenixes, abyssal giants, ancient rock demons. All kinds of monsters are there. After the fallen angels took control of hell, these monsters became the pets of the fallen angels. And the hellhound being dragged out of the summoning black hole by the 6-winged fallen angels is just one of the many hellish monsters located in the middle and lower levels. On the other side, Lin Yu is checking the information about the hellhound. Hellhound. Camp. Hell. Initial level. Transcendent late stage. Growth potential limit. Lower true god. Introduction. An evil monster from hell, underworld, with extremely powerful combat power and recovery ability comparable to a true god. Even if its head is cut off, it won't die easily. Special reminder. Hellhounds are the guardians of the gates of the underworld. Once they are included as territorial troops, you may be targeted by the death gods of the underworld. Lin Yu doesn't care about the special reminder given by the floating island. Advertisement. After all, even the underworld was split in half by a few 18-winged Grand Archangels, with one half transformed into a hell for imprisoning fallen angels. What does it matter if the death gods of the underworld are hostile? Even if they had 10,000 times the courage, they wouldn't dare to come knocking on their door. What if the other half of the underworld is lost too? What Lin Yu is concerned about is the appearance of these monsters. Although they are called hellhounds, they don't have any canine features on their bodies. They look more like a hybrid of the dragon race and some kind of exotic beast. All of them have a size of over 100 meters. Incredibly huge. From head to toe, they are covered in black scales, layered like snake scales. On their tails, there are numerous spikes, very similar to the iconic wolf tooth club of the double-headed demon clan. As for their 3 heads, they are dragon heads. Even their 3 pairs of eyes are vertical pupils like those of dragons. However, their 3 pairs of eyes are all different colors. One pair is black, one pair is red, one pair is gold. It seems to represent different meanings. Lin Yu self-consciously said, It's not surprising that real creatures and mythical creatures have different appearances, so there's no need to dwell on their appearance. But their initial level? It's surprising that despite having the growth potential comparable to that of a six-winged angel, it possesses an initial level equivalent to that of an eight-winged angel. This is quite astonishing to me. Upon hearing this, Angelia, who was standing by, said, "My lord, the hellish behemoths spend their entire lives in battle, from birth to death. Their greatest strength lies in slaughter. That's why their initial level is relatively high, but their growth potential is quite average." This refers to orthodox hellish creatures, excluding fallen angels, whose predecessors were holy angels. In terms of growth potential, fallen angels are no less than holy angels. I see. Lin Yu laughed and said, "My intention was to summon an angel, but I didn't expect to get a two-for-one deal. This summoning is really worth it." Indeed, it was a big win for him. As long as my lord is happy. Angelia showed a slightly stiff but elegant smile. Just at that moment, a group of high-ranking archangels gathered. Leading them were 16 eight-winged angels, followed by over 100 six-winged angels. The ratio remained 2-1. But unlike before, advertisement. This time, there was a group of hellish Cerberuses among the fallen angel camp. Their total number was around 60. With the addition of the hellish Cerberuses and fallen angels, the ratio between them and the holy angels became 1-1. Of course, this ratio applied to the high-ranking archangels. The lower-ranking four-winged angels and two-winged angels still had the highest number among the holy angels. Praise be to you, the great Lord of holy light, Creator. The group of high-ranking holy angels and fallen angels bowed reverently towards Lin Yu. In their golden and blood-colored eyes, there was a sense of reverence and excitement. To have the honor of meeting the great Lord of holy light up close was an incredibly glorious and proud moment. Within the divine domain of the Lord, countless angels envied them. Even the archangels could only look on with envy. Behind them, the hellish Cerberuses, each bound by blood-colored chains, crawled in the hall like obedient pets, their breaths barely audible. Hellish behemoths were not followers of the holy light. But clearly, these hellish Cerberuses had been tamed by the fallen angels. Lin Yu summoned an eight-winged fallen angel and asked, "Have you made a contract with these hellish Cerberuses?" Compared to taming, Lin Yu preferred to believe in the power of contracts. Reporting to the Almighty Creator, the eight-winged fallen angel knelt on one knee and said with a resolute voice, "We have placed seals within the souls of each hellish Cerberus. These seals were created by three crowned ones. Even beings at the god level cannot resist them. If any of them dare to have the slightest rebellious thought towards you, the seals will instantly destroy their souls." In addition, those six-winged fallen angels are the hellish Cerberus Knights. They also control the fate of those hellish Cerberuses, so you can rest assured. Lin Yu nodded. With soul seals and the control of the six-winged fallen angels, there was indeed nothing to worry about. Lin Yu smiled and said, "No wonder there are hellish Cerberuses appearing in this summoning." Since they were hellish Cerberus Knights, there was nothing surprising about it. After all, knights and their mounts go hand in hand. Just like dragon knights. A reasonable and legitimate buy one, get one free. On the other side, Angelia glanced at the eight-winged fallen angel. That guy really comes up with all sorts of tricks to please the great Lord of Holy Light. Now it's hellish Cerberus Knights. When the Lord of Holy Light's territory reaches a higher level, will there be Dragon Knights, Dark Phoenix Knights, and Giant Demon Knights? This is really too much. Facing Angelia's somewhat dissatisfied gaze, the eight-winged fallen angel silently lowered her head. The power struggle among the higher-ups is not something a small eight-winged angel like her can participate in.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.